welcome everybody. We're going to talk today about Loki, the Loki trailer, some thoughts, some opinions, everything going around it, which includes, Jonathan Majors' trial, the trailer that came out, the budget, how it's going to stack up, those sorts of things, what the story looks like it may be about.
The trailer numbers, like watch numbers.
Yeah.
We could throw those in there because Marvel is apparently dead.
Yeah,
and
Marvel's
the
dead.
trailer just confirms that.
We'll start with that. So for those of you who don't know, it's unfortunate that we have a podcast that focuses on entertainment, things like superheroes, especially when we focus on Marvel, because Marvel is dead. Ever since Endgame, nobody watches it, nobody cares about it. It's all just so bad, downhill, terrible products. WandaVision, all of it. Like, everybody hated Loki. That's why it's having a second season. Nobody wanted to see it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But speaking of Loki, the trailer dropped. Season 2 is going to be out so soon. And what were the numbers?
I think it did like 80 million views in like the first 3 days or something like that, which is like a Disney Plus trailer TV show record, I believe, or Disney Plus TV show trailer record.
Okay. So with Marvel being dead, what do those views mean?
What I think it means is that people just really like to watch trailers,
Okay.
and they have zero interest in the MCU as a whole, or Marvel in general. They just really love watching trailers over and over again 80 million times.
Could it have anything to do with Tom Hiddleston and Jonathan Majors being some of the most attractive men of all time?
It could.
Because I watched the entire trailer with Juergens next to me.
Okay. Well, that's how you watch, honestly, anything that's on TV.
Right. Self-control is not one of my strengths. But yeah, so the trailer came out. Tons of people watched it because Marvel is, for those of you who do not know, that was all satire. Marvel's not dead. They just have, not been able to produce anything at the level of Endgame yet, or since it's been out, because Endgame.
Oh, you mean an Avengers level movie? You mean an Avengers level movie where
one of the most profitable movies of all time?
Right. One of those, you mean?
Yeah. So if you're expecting a 6-episode TV show to be just as good as a movie of that caliber, well, a movie that had Chris Evans,
Robert Downey Jr.,
Scarlett
go
Johansson,
on and on.
And if you look at the credits, Natalie Portman was in that movie. You might not have noticed, but she was there.
Right.
You have all these Zoe Saldana, like the highest earning actor in terms of box office of all time.
Yeah, she's hit like the top 3 movies of all time. Yeah, she's been in every one of them.
If you told me there was like a Gamora show that did poorly, then I'd be surprised. These shows aren't supposed to be box office movies. Otherwise they'd be in the box office. But people watched it because it's Loki. Tom Hiddleston is an awesome draw. Jonathan Majors, we know what's going on with
Wilson,
him right now,
Sophie DiMartino, Kate, I don't know, Kate, the guy from Squid Game, Ke Huy Quan, something.
Yeah, Ke Huy Guan. God, I'm struggling.
Something like that.
But yes, but very excited to see him.
Miss Minutes, Tara Strong is Miss Minutes as well.
I believe
featured in that.
Judge Verona, she'll be there.
Ravona.
I was gonna say Verona.
Yeah, 9 Veronas.
I believe her name is Gugu Mbatha.
Yeah, that sounds right. Hunter B-15 was in there too.
And it seems like Hunter B-15 is going to be a pretty good focus based on the trailer, or at least a focus of a couple episodes, because they were a focus in the trailer. Sylvie looks very different.
Right.
And in the trailers, acting like this is all, like we're toying with gods or whatever.
We're playing gods.
You are the one that killed.
I know, yeah.
Why am I supposed to think that this is some big thing coming from? You know what you did.
Yeah, we're playing gods as she killed someone that stated that he was stronger than everyone. Everyone has been doing things based on what he was saying
what he was allowing
to do,
across
allowing them to
all multiverses.
Right. Yeah. Or at least the ones where like the Kangs weren't, like the other Kangs weren't fighting him. Like he obviously
Right.
didn't write that story for them, but like our main timeline, like he was writing everything down to Tony Stark snapping at the end,
Yeah.
like down everything.
It
He
wasn't
wrote all
until
that.
Loki and Sylvie walked into his office. He had everything planned up until
Yeah,
that moment. Everything
yeah,
happened because he allowed it.
right.
Because he who
So
remains allowed it.
yeah, so for her we're playing gods, and then her killing someone infinitely stronger than she is, and now the backlash of that
Right.
is happening, and she's like, how could
Well,
this happen?
help me. No, you did this yourself. I'm excited to see where the show goes with it, but for this trailer, it's like, am I supposed to feel bad for her? Because I don't.
Right.
She
Yeah.
ended the first season of Loki in one of the like biggest fu moments to fans. Like, nice, both Lokis turned this around. They're,
Yeah.
the Loki is going to be falling in love with himself. It's so Loki. Even Owen Wilson, or even Mobius
Themselves.
says that themselves.
Yeah.
Um, falling in love with
Now,
themselves is like so
our
Loki.
Loki, our 2012 Avengers Loki, is in a different universe from the main 616, if that's what our universe is. Either 616 or 119999999. He's in one of those two universes originally. He gets sent to another one by Sylvie, and they don't like that because he's time slipping now.
Yeah, which
And
can't happen at the TVA.
yeah, which can't happen at the TVA. That was a funny thing. He's like, yeah, no, it can't happen in the TVA. We just saw it. Oh, like
what do we do?
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It was
So
very similar to how he seems in interviews, which is cool. He's just kind of, it seems like he might be just playing himself a bit.
right. So time slipping could be because he is in a multiverse that is rejecting him, or a different universe that is rejecting him. That's what I'm assuming is happening. Is he's going to a universe, it's rejecting him, and so he's time slipping and either going to a different universe and then that one's rejecting him and he's bouncing all around, or it's like sending him back in time and he's got to go find Mobius and do it again, or I don't know how it's gonna work. So
it could also be because like Sylvie could be messing with different timelines,
right.
So it could be multiple Lokis affecting multiple timelines, so all Lokis could effectively slip.
Sure.
I don't know where they plan to go with the whole time slipping thing, because it seems like it's going to be one of those things. They're going to make it seem like it's important and happening regularly, but then during like key moments, it's not going to happen. And we're like, why isn't he time slipping now?
Right.
Like,
right.
They have to be consistent with it.
But at the end of Quantumania, it showed a snippet from, I assume that from Loki season 2, where they're in front of Victor Timely doing his presentation. Victor Timely being a Kang variant.
Yes. Yep.
Where
he looks a lot like Hamilton.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And
dressed
then
in the same attire.
That's the guy. And then Owen Wilson's like, well, he doesn't seem that bad, but deep down he's a Kang. So like,
right. Yeah. That's another thing. Like this Loki season 2, this is the first trailer, but not the first thing we've seen from it. Sure. With that end credit scene from Quantumania, which a lot of people did not see that movie, and the people that didn't like it might not have stayed for the end credit scene.
Sure. There's more to the post credit scenes that meet the eye. Like, not even the Victor Timely Loki one, but even like the end credit scene where like everyone's wearing green and purple. Like, there's something to that. He's not where he should be, or else Kang has gotten his hands in that moment in his world. But
yeah,
whatever, that's in the past.
Speaking of Kang, though, Jonathan Majors had his trial for what?
Yeah, I believe he had a trial, and then the person who accused him of domestic abuse or
it was alleged domestic abuse.
Right, alleged domestic abuse and
assault.
Whatever, just assault, sure. And apparently they were a no-show. So Jonathan Majors has, he's denied it, his agent has denied it, and he has had his girlfriend by his side the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is good.
Which is good. I mean, she's showing support for him. Obviously it's innocent until proven guilty, and everyone's just so quick to cancel someone just like that. But you got to know all the evidence. So us, when that first happened, we put our faith in the system, and we really, really hoped that nothing was going to be bad.
For those who haven't seen it, we talked about it, said that if he did do it, you have to recast. He's a Kang variant, so you can just recast easy.
Right.
We talked about in that video, we mentioned that we either recast him, but if he didn't do it, the audience needs to fully support him and shouldn't be boycotting or anything like that purely because he was accused.
Right. Yeah, and he's
otherwise
phenomenal.
Stop watching movies, because every product you buy, everything you see had somebody involved in it that does or did things that you would disagree with. Sure, I promise.
Sure. Right. So yeah, no, Jonathan Majors is a cornerstone in this phase. Like, he is the most important piece in this entire phase of Marvel, and these entire probably 3 phases of Marvel. So
the end of Loki season 1 ended with the TVA, and Kang had a statue at the TVA, didn't he?
Yeah, he who remains died.
Yep.
Sylvie killed him, but the universe that Sylvie sent Loki to, had that TVA he made it. He didn't have the 3 like talking mechanical heads running the TVA. He was very much there and present in what the TVA was doing. That Kang was. So maybe that's just, there's some Kangs that are a part of the TVA, much like He Who Remains or this other Kang variant, but I'm guessing there's some that are more like not TVA oriented and just kind of like capturing worlds and universes and stuff. So
little side topic here, little tangent, still Marvel related. Fantastic Four has news that are coming out that we're not going to talk about today. However, there was a rumor that it appears that Galactus is going to be the main villain in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, no, we can talk about this.
We'd mentioned that Galactus is too big to have at the same time as Kang.
Sure.
We talked about that in our
I've
Fantastic
been thinking
Four video.
about this actually for like 2 or 3 days now. Since the casting rumors have come out. Obviously there's one casting rumor I'm very for, and one that I'm like, yeah, apparently they might be going with like Peyton Reed's idea, where like the Fantastic Four were really relevant in the 60s or like in the past, and then they get sucked into the quantum realm or whatever, and then they miss all this time and then pop out into reality for like the real time where they're at now, and they have all this, maybe it's like beef with Kang, but
gotta be the 60s from another universe, because otherwise how did none of the Avengers
remember
the Fantastic Four?
Yeah, exactly. Or Fury. Like, where's Fury or that?
Fury never was doing anything to try to figure out how to get
Fury was what? Maybe like 30, maybe like late 20s in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So, he wouldn't have been born yet. But
in the 90s, which means in this universe, that means Fury was born in the early 70s.
Yeah, something like that. So no, I think it would be sick. So there's rumors that Galactus would be the main villain in the Fantastic Four movie. But if this Fantastic Four movie was set in the past, maybe it straight up shows the Fantastic Four saving the world.
Oh, sure.
Like saving the world back then, and then getting sucked into the quantum realm and shot into a different universe. But like, it shows them dealing with Galactus back then, and then actually you don't even have to like hit Galactus in the future, which I'm okay with. Like, there's so many other storylines that you can do besides Galactus.
As long as he's not a cloud.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that too. Like, you could do Annihilus. Annihilus is insane because he has a bunch of drones and minions and whatever. Annihilus would be sick. Doctor Doom, obviously. Like, you could do Avengers vs. X-Men. You could, like, there's so many other storylines besides Galactus.
Yeah.
And I don't know how practical Galactus would be in like live action, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
So
He
And
can eat
Galactus is
planets.
not, yeah, Galactus is not like a big bad. He just eats planets.
He's
Like,
neutral. He's
yeah,
neutral, but because of what he does, he's viewed as a bad guy.
sure. And
Similar
he's not, in my
to,
opinion, he's not Thanos or Kang or Doctor Doom level,
yeah,
like,
but
or
similar to like
no,
the
he's not even like
Celestials.
yeah, he's not even like an apocalypse like level kind of threat to
Yeah.
me. So
I'm fine if he's
I
in the past, but you'd have to find some way. I think that makes a ton of sense. You just have to have some way to make sure the world forgot about them.
right. Well, if they're in a different universe too, like
Yeah.
it could be like, I'm not saying they're Nexus beings, but like maybe like they're like, there's not a Norman Osborn in our universe. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like there could not be a Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm
In our universe.
and Victor Von Doom in our universe.
Yeah.
Like that could just happen.
Plus,
So
they if Hank Pym's theory is right, the quantum realm exists outside of multiverses. So
right.
if they did get brought to the quantum realm, it is possible for them to come from another universe into the quantum
There
realm,
is
out of the
a
quantum
yeah,
realm, back into a different
there
universe.
and there is an incursion happening right now with our world and some other world.
Yeah.
So they could be on that other world.
Sure.
And then an incursion doesn't necessarily have to be like detrimental. Like it, like you can have an incursion and not have damage. I guess like you could
Yeah.
have two universes merge and it could be okay. Like it can be okay, but I'm guessing there will be something they have to stop and then the worlds will still converge, I guess. But that's what I would say is like that's what I would want, I
So
suppose.
sticking on that, so if they stuck with the past, then you don't have to worry about the Kang and Galactus existing at the same time.
Sure.
So because of how like Loki looks scared in the credit scene of
Because of Victor Timely.
yeah, even though
Right.
you shouldn't necessarily be scared of one Loki variant or one Kang variant. There are certain ones you should probably be more scared of. It seems like every Kang is treated as like a big bad. So like as we've talked about before, you can't have Kang seem as big and bad as he is and still have another big bad around. That's why you have to have a Super Skrull who's killed in 6 episodes.
Yeah, sure.
That's why you have to have villains that are defeated by the end of a series,
Sure.
as opposed to like Loki season 2, which is probably not going to kill off Kang.
Right.
It's just going to add more to his story.
Right.
Plus, it probably should have something to do with Deadpool. But
yeah,
I don't know
there
if they
should be a
can.
Deadpool thing. Yeah, I don't know if they can either.
But we know Owen Wilson's in Deadpool.
Yeah, and apparently the plot behind that is like it's going to be TVA oriented.
Yeah,
like they're going to come get Deadpool for
because Deadpool's
with
clearly
the
killing the
timelines.
Fox universe. He's clearly killing the Fox universe. There's nothing else.
It would be it's either the Fox universe or like I don't know, because I don't think the Hugh Jackman Wolverine we're getting is that Fox's Wolverine.
Right, it's a different Wolverine coming to help kill that.
Yeah, and I don't even know if Logan is the same Wolverine as the Fox universe.
Nothing
Wolverine.
in Fox makes sense. That Fox universe, every single movie could be different.
Yeah,
every single movie could be a different universe. They weren't thinking about multiverses.
Not at
they
all.
Were just trying to make movies.
By the end of the newer runs, like the Michael Fassbender
First Class and those ones.
Apparently Michael Fassbender's character was like 10 years away from what Ian McKellen's character was supposed to be. Like they were 10 years apart, like their age wise.
Michael Fassbender in 10 years is not going to look like Sir Ian McKellen at age like 70 something.
Yeah, exactly. So,
which also means that James McAvoy would have been 10 years from Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
that's just
So
Mystique would have been 10 years from way she looked in those movies, which means she would have had to grow. It's a lot taller.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be our same Deadpool, but you also like I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited for the whole Link thing. Deadpool 3 is gonna be insanely fun, insanely and like important too. Like it's gonna be important too. And it's gonna be kind of this like building block going forward, because Fantastic Four is the next movie after that. So maybe
Perfect.
he's the one that introduces the Fantastic Four. Maybe he finds the Fantastic Four in another world and he brings them with him. I don't know.
I think that would be awesome if we had fantastic. I mean, with all the rumors we're hearing about Fantastic Four, this is kind of how Disney Marvel works with their marketing, where they bring things up as if it was like subtle. You don't know why it's being brought up, then all of a sudden it's the next thing. Like,
Right.
oh, we're all of a sudden hearing a lot from Peggy Carter or
Haley
Haley
Atwell.
Atwell about Peggy Carter when we haven't seen her in a product in multiple years now, or like since Multiverse of Madness.
Sure.
Outside of that, like we didn't really see her. Why are we hearing about her now? There's a good chance we hear or see Agent Carter. Might be in What If, might be in something like that, but like there's a good chance we see her again within the year or shortly after, because that's why we're hearing from her now. That's just the way they do their marketing. We're hearing a lot of Fantastic Four now, so there's a good chance we get a sneak peek of at least something to do with either you hear.
We just want casting. We don't want casting rumors. We want casting.
Yeah.
Yep. We want to know who, because it comes out in like early 2025, and if a movie takes a year to make, like you gotta
and there's a strike
going soon with that. So because you have to nail,
probably can't make casting decisions until that's over, right?
You can't, no. So all these rumors coming out, whether it be, you know, Joseph Quinn or Vanessa Kirby, the ones that Matt Smith, like it doesn't, those don't matter. Like you should take those with a.
How would Matt Smith be able to be?
Yeah,
he can't.
Matt Smith was held back in Morbius, but Morbius was held back by Sony.
What are you talking about?
So Matt Smith is great though. Like Matt Smith is a great actor. It's just held back like by Sony not revealing any, like not doing what they should do. So
I feel like Matt Smith should be in a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
Like
Matt Smith is great.
Andrew Skarsgård wasn't it. If he wasn't Pennywise, Matt Smith seems like he would kill a role like that.
Oh yeah.
Like it's even just his facial structure.
Yeah, he's got a. That's why I find like if like him as Reed would work, because Reed has a very
square
tall face. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'm fine with it. But I'm not taking any of these rumors at all. Like during a strike too, that it's not.
The only thing I'd be willing to take at this time is probably Tom Hiddleston. Just in general.
Yeah, you could take him.
Oh yeah. I'd make it work. Speaking of that, getting back on Loki, for those who haven't seen the trailer, it doesn't really give away too much. Like most trailers, especially for these shows, you're not going to know anything that it's about. I'm expecting it to be all over the place, and honestly, so while we're patrons of positivity here, my expectations, especially due to a lot of the way that Disney Plus shows have gone as of late, my expectations are quite low. And Loki does have a budget that's less than $100 million. Like it's $100 million less than Secret Invasion.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, it's about 83, I believe. 83 less, I think.
Right. However, one thing that people aren't talking about is Emilia Clarke, Samuel L. Jackson, and Kingsley Ben-Adir are three names that cost a lot.
Olivia Colman, Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, and then also you have side characters that even
Kobe Smulders,
even if they're only in one episode, are expensive and they add up. But if Loki sticks with Tom Hiddleston, Owen Wilson, like if they stick with just the ones they really have and don't add anything beyond that, salaries alone put Secret Invasion probably more than just with Emilia Clarke and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, you forgot about Don Cheadle as well.
Don Cheadle.
So it's another thing. Secret Invasion budget compared to Loki budget. Yeah. Secret Invasion, you have to do a lot of facial body shape shifting.
Yep.
Plus special effects.
And they did
Loki. In Loki, you really just have to do special effects.
Right. And their special effects aren't super challenging when you can do smoke and light. Yeah. Because Loki uses a lot of
trickery.
You get a lot of smoke and light, which if you can make just a bright light flash, you can hide a lot of the hard work.
Right. And then another, like when Loki splits, you see that a couple times throughout the trailer. It's like, all right, Tom, I need you to film a scene from here. And then it's like, go stand over there. I need you to film a scene there. I need you to film the scene there. And then like, that's your separation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so, yeah, I don't know. I think, I'm sure Majors got a huge check, like for the like 3 phases. Like they gave him a check for 3 phases. Like you're in however many projects for these 3 Marvel phases. Okay, and so his paycheck is probably not included in this. You know what I mean? Because it's like he probably got paid for the big picture.
Well,
that's how I would say it. But
similar to like Chris Evans and stuff when they first signed their deals.
Right.
They signed on for a lot of projects all at once. Like it was something like 11 movies.
Yeah, it was like 10 plus. I know Bucky, what's his name?
Bucky Barnes.
Bucky Barnes, yeah. Sebastian Stan. There you go.
Yep.
Was like a 10 movie deal. And it was like, what? He's like this minor
Sebastian
character.
Stan,
what do you mean?
Sebastian Step on me.
What?
But yeah, it was so it's probably they signed on for a bunch of projects, and
you probably have to do that with the big bad, you know what I mean?
Right. So, with renegotiate, similar to like certain sports deals, probably renegotiating by project, like, hey, we agreed to I get paid this many per scene, per line, whatever, per project. You
need me in an extra one. Like
we're adding, so I don't have additional salary for this show, but I'd like 1% royalties. So then it doesn't go onto the budget, but it does take out of the eventual profit. I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like that.
Yeah. Right.
Considering if I were an actor, I would choose royalties over a higher paycheck any day of my life.
Yeah, but I mean, we're seeing some of these residuals coming out from everyone.
So good. Woo, like 14 cents.
Yeah, man.
Being part of like an 80 episode show.
3 seasons worth of shows. Yeah.
14 cents every quarter. Every fiscal quarter you get 14 cents. That you could live off that.
I know. Yeah.
That's nuts. Within what 70,000 years you could retire?
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Maybe.
By that time, inflation's going to be nuts. Minimum wage will probably still be about $10. But you could get there.
Yeah, but a gallon of milk, I mean, that's 6 hours of working.
Luckily, by that point, humans can make their own eggs.
Man.
Well, that'll be the stuff they explore in Loki. Will be universes like that.
Right.
But that's the thing, is like, will we get a lot of time in other universes, or will it be primarily spent at the TVA is what I'd like to know.
Sure. And they go out and about. You know what I mean? They go out and about and do things. So
when he time slips, he has to do something while he's there.
Right. He's not like, oh, back at the TVA again. Let me go find Mobius. So
because keeping it at the TVA keeps that budget down. That keeps you on the one set.
Sure.
And you have less story to worry about the less you travel around. So it's
I don't know. I wish the budget numbers didn't come out, because it really doesn't matter. Like,
it doesn't.
Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's like it only matters if people hate it, and people hate it because they piggyback off one person that hates it.
Well, they hate it because Marvel's dead.
Right. Oh.
Well, and you have like 3 people mainly, in my opinion. There's multiple people that do the same thing we do. They just do it at a much more successful level.
Sure.
Kind of like new rock stars. Perfect example.
Right.
But they're not one of these people that I'm about to talk about. There are a few people that do the same thing. Talk about these shows, talk about their speculation, all that sort of thing. And a few of them are the purveyors of all that negativity.
Sure. No, 100%.
They have so much sway. They have 200,000 followers on Twitter, and then they have million subscribers on YouTube. So they have a large vocal fan base. And all they have to do is say, I really didn't like it. And you have the right fans are just going to say, oh,
those 1 million people. Yeah, I hate this too.
I really liked I liked this part about the movie, but I couldn't get over the story writing in this episode. And then all of a sudden you have a million people saying the story writing sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
All that
I mean,
person said was
we
they
knew
didn't
that.
like one episode.
Yeah, like I mean, we watched She-Hulk through its entirety, and why we liked certain episodes, like the first episode, anything Matt Murdock was in. The finale was pretty good too. Like I liked the finale too. It basically just shit on Marvel finales, and then everyone who didn't like this finale was like, She-Hulk was right. What? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So, but we took the positives from every episode that we could find that we really enjoyed, and like that's what we do here. So
we do.
that's what we do here. We find the good in the bad, much like our significant others somehow found the good in the bad.
My wife's still looking. She's still trying to find it. Like, money making.
Man, like she's still looking, like out there.
Oh, well,
like...
both technically. Yeah, like money, it's not there. Looks, it's not sexual prowess. So far, nothing has been impressive.
But you're funny.
And yeah, that's hit or miss. A lot of times the things I say are just met with silence. Sometimes it's the occasional just stare down. But yeah, I exist and I put a baby in her, so now she can't leave me.
Yeah, smart.
That was really my whole goal.
Did you catch Emilia Clarke doing that little interview? Just last little bit. Emilia Clarke doing that little interview about her talking about that the finale.
No.
She'll look that up because she is so happy and excited, explaining how much fun she had in that final fight.
Did hear a clip, not hear a clip. I read a clip from what she had said in an interview stating that this working on Secret Invasion was the most fun she's had as an actor.
Yeah, she said like while I was running, like they had me on like a like obviously she couldn't run as fast as like she was running towards Gravik, so they had her on like a chariot and they were like pulling her super fast, but she was like running too, and then like they had her up on a harness in a warehouse and she's like, I don't want to come down, this is so cool. Like so yeah, it was just she had so much fun, and her just smiling and laughing and enjoying herself explaining how much fun she was having was awesome to see. So that's cool.
That's cool to hear. Because you hear about Marvel, you hear about burnout, you hear about actors. Like when you listen to Zoe Saldana,
she's done.
She's so done.
Yeah,
she doesn't want to be Gamora ever again. They could offer her 50% royalties, and doesn't sound like she would take it.
Sure.
You hear people like Scarlett Johansson say, "I feel like they could have done more with my character,
right?
But I'm done with it." You just, those sorts of things. So when you hear somebody say they love their character, Bautista loved Drax, but he said he was done with Drax.
Right.
He was very happy with how Drax ended. He's just kind of done with it. But loved it. And so to hear Emilia Clarke say she loves it and is excited for the future of it. Jonathan Majors said something similar last year, the year before. And it's just cool. It's just cool. Chris Hemsworth talks about how he's sick of Thor being the way he is.
Right. He's not dumb and
Right. He's not having fun playing the actor anymore. Playing the character anymore.
Right.
So one of the things that feels like it is missing from like the fun feels campy and forced. The seriousness doesn't feel serious because they haven't made anything feel serious in a while.
Right.
Like, oh, this person died. Oh, it wasn't actually the person that you thought died. Oh, this person's like, just all these different things. So the way Loki goes, my expectations, like I said, are low. So I think I will be impressed by it, but with
I think Tom Hiddleston is just enjoyable to watch the entire time.
Yes.
But I think much like Charlie Cox and She-Hulk, I think whenever Jonathan Majors is on the screen, he's going to steal the show, and to steal the show from someone like Tom Hiddleston is very difficult to do.
Well, and let's throw Owen Wilson in there as a legend.
Oh yeah,
he's been in film for so long.
Like for him to just hop on Loki season 1 and just go all in, like be Mobius, is just, it's the perfect like counterbalance to Loki. It's brilliant.
We did not see a jet ski in this, though.
Yet.
We have not seen a jet ski.
There's got to be one. There's got to be one. He's got to get his jet ski.
I would be cool if I'd be totally fine if it was like a jet, like he thinks he has a jet ski, and then when he goes to get on, he like phases through it like it's a hologram, and Loki's sitting there,
or
like,
time slips or something like that.
Like Loki's.
Oh yeah, his projection.
Yeah.
I mean the glorious purpose guy, he projected the entirety of Asgard. So Loki, I'm sure Loki can do it.
Yeah.
So
for any of you who haven't seen the trailer, for those of you who want to talk Fantastic Four stuff, for those of you who want to just talk Marvel in general, that's what we expect from Loki. That's what we've heard of so far. And we do enjoy talking about this stuff with anyone. So let us know. What do you think's going to happen? Let us know on Twitter, YouTube, all the stuff. And if you know anybody that is really good at graphic design, go ahead and email the business email listed on my website and on YouTube. Either or. So thank you all for watching. You all look great today. G. It's good.
Was it?
Yeah. Oh, I thought I was going to end it there. Weird.
We're still going. Welcome back to the After Hours.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you.